What's the deal with the new Old Fitzgerald 7-year Bottled-In-Bond? Is it any good? Is it worth it? Stick around and find out. Welcome back, or welcome to the channel. If this is your first time checking in, my name is Austin, and today I'm going to be reviewing the new Old Fitzgerald 7-year Bottled-In-Bond. This is obviously the little brother to the fancy decanter bottles, which I've got a empty and refilled one over there. Coming in at 7 years though. So Heaven Hill's Wheated Mash Bill, Bottled-In-Bond, 100 proof, aged at least 4 years, 7 years in this, same distilling season, bonded warehouse, same distillery, yada, yada, yada. First pour of the day, I'll be hopefully batch recording a few videos. I've got my newborn sleep and I've got my toddler sleep, so I'm gonna try and knock out a couple of these real quick. The bottle of this looks really cool. I actually like the design on this one. I like the cork and the top kind of angular design. It's got the Old Fitz carved into the top. Comes with a green bag. This is not my bottle. My buddy came over to drop off some special sample swaps, which I'll be getting to that in a few videos, but that video will probably come out before this one. But anyways, none of that matters. He brought this, let me try it, and left the bottle here for me to do a review. I saw it at my local Bevmo for $64.99, something like that recently. I don't think it's worth that. We'll see if my opinions change on that, but they hit our Costco's for like 45 bucks recently. I did not get one. I wasn't there to see it, but I didn't ask anybody to like try and pick one up for me or anything like that. But okay, the nose is better than I remember, and I'd only tried it the one time. Some red fruit, like strawberry. Some of the Heaven Hill nuttiness comes through, as well as the that musty, weedy funk. There's almost kind of a black licorice note, which I know like most of the time is goes with, you know, rye or high rye mash bills, and this obviously not having any rye. But I'll get even like Larceny barrel proofs certain years. This apparently now I'll get like a black licorice or anise note on some Heaven Hill weeded stuff. That's predominantly it though. Black licorice, maybe strawberry, some nuttiness, some mustiness, maybe a little vanilla in there. That nuttiness really jumps out though. All right, let's get into it. Everything translates. Strawberries in there, the nuttiness is in there, the weedy funk mustiness is in there. There is some vanilla, some light caramel, not like a dark burnt caramel, but like a light, almost salty caramel. Second sip, it's drinking a little bit more thin, or thinner than the first one. As I'm drinking it more and more, on the finish, there's a little bit of a chocolate, and then like a cinnamon, like baking spice is starting to build, and it's actually getting better with more and more sips, I would say. What do I think this is comparable to? I think this is probably pretty close to me, this almost reminds me of like a good Booker's batch that's like watered way down, and just really thinned out. Like a thin, watery Booker's in a way. Yeah, that last sip, there's really nothing on the finish. I would not recommend, so I would not pay $1 over retail for this, and I have so many bottles that I don't need to go out and get every single bottle. So thank you, Mike, for letting me borrow this. I personally am not going to be purchasing one of these. They should be readily available pretty soon. I just think maybe there's better stuff out there at that price point or more available. I think the post $50 mark, there's probably better stuff out there. I like the bottle. I don't hate the whiskey, but I don't think it's worth it. With that building cinnamon, I'm curious. I had no intention on comparing these two, but this bottle is on the floor next to me. Same price point-ish. I'd probably go Rowan's Creek. It's got that Willet cinnamon. It's got the Willet earthiness. Funk, 50.05 ABV. Pretty identical. This is readily available too. I bought that because that's what we named our son, Baby Rowan. So I wanted to blind my friends with that and see if they knew what, if they had any guesses of what the name would be. And this is actually, I guess now the second time that I've ever had Rowan's Creek. I think it's often looked at as the younger brother to Noah's Mill, but yeah, not terrible. I think if you can't find Old Fitz, or if you really like the Old Fitz 7 and want something comparable, Rowan's Creek would be a good substitute or something to try with that. Obviously, I'm probably a little biased and not impartial on that, given that that's my child's name. But that's where I am wrapping this up. I've got a few more videos to do, so I want to get on it. As always, Bourbon Experience is all about good pours and great times with whoever with whiskey meant to be enjoyed, so crack those balls. Cheers.